And this is the last time we're on at 2:00 because from next week we start at 3:00.
Okay.
Very important.
Is it all right if I turn up at 2 anyway?
You can turn up any time you like. As long as you're ready to go at the start of the show, then that's fine. You do all your work.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, my whole life revolves around being here at 2, so...
Speaking of which, I've got an email here.
Yes.
Which says, "Dear Being Frank and being really, really frank, I write with a request for a very special WhatsApp. I'm a long-term listener. In fact, I can remember the exact moment I first heard your dulcet tones. It's the 18th of April, 2008. Tuning into Radio 5, I remember exactly the first sentence I heard Mark utter.
Really?
And the sentence was, 'I don't know what it is.'"
That sounds right. That sounds like me.
I should say, by the way, that this email is from John Robbins, who is half of Ellis James and John Robbins, who are
taking over,
doing the show 1 till 3 next week.
They're not doing this show.
No, not
they're doing a different show.
No one,
yes.
Well, obviously.
No one could. Yeah. They're doing a different show.
Doing the warm-up.
But
he was talking... Do you know what film you were talking
about? Are we calling them the support act? Is that what you're saying?
No, that would be very disrespectful. So,
what did you nearly say? Then I talked to Christian.
Do you know what... So you said, "I don't know what it is."
Yes.
It's 2008. Do you know what film you were talking about?
No.
He was talking about There Will Be Blood, and it's...
Oh, okay, yes, that's that.
This enthusiasm, mixed with a humble lack of certainty, was exactly the kind of film critic I could get on board with. I then recognised his voice, from TV introductions to all manner of rude and gory films that I'd secretly recorded without my mum's knowledge as a teenager. Many years ago.
That was, can I just say, those rude and gory film introductions were done in the period that you like to refer to as my wilderness
The wilderness years, that's right.
In fact, I like to refer to as my television years.
Rude and gory years.
Rude and gory years, yeah.
Well, 11 years later, and you're both still a special part of my week. Through Sex and the City, Who's Driving the Boat, Shut Up Buttwad, Fart Gun, Sanjeev, Ben and Edith, I even once sent in a little picture of me listening outside a Shell garage in Wittering. Anyway, I hope you won't mind me thanking you for the inspiration you provided when some years ago I started my own radio show. Simon's Greek chorus, always remembering the listener who hasn't seen the film Mark is referring to, was always in my mind when we veered too far off track. But also the respect Mark gives his listeners by not patronising us or oversimplifying his reaction. But most of all, it was the chemistry of two friends being no different with each other on air than if there was no microphone at all that provided such a great example for me when I too started broadcasting with my friend. We even got a shout out on your show from listener Susie a year ago, very movingly speaking about the importance of our two podcasts to people's mental health. So, says John Robbins, here's the thing. I wondered if you could give us a WhatsApp and wish Ellis and me good luck as we start in a new job next week. Not only is it in your neck of the woods, it's your actual woods.
Your actual woods.
As we'll be presenting the show before yours, and wondered if you could find room on Broadcaster's Buttress or on Podcaster's Pew for a couple of new members. Ellis might be somewhat bemused as to why his usually adept co-DJ is uncharacteristically nervous or distracted. But I will be remembering that time I sat in my car hearing Mark say, "I don't know what it is," and thinking what a strange and wonderful thing life is as we hand over to you in your new slot.
So, two questions. Firstly, I mean, you'll be brilliant. It'll be perfectly great, and the listening figures will soar.
Yes.
So, two things. Is their show coming from here, from this studio?
No. No,
from the building. Okay,
our studio.
Oh, fine. So
they have the slightly smaller studio around the corner.
Okay, but they can graduate.
Today's studio.
Yeah,
or something like
and they'll be brilliant, and we are delighted to be the support acts. Often go on after. I mean, I've played gigs at places like there's a jazz place in Camden where you play 10 till 12, and then the band comes afterwards. Is generally considered to be the support act, and maybe they're just telling that to us.
Okay, well, so maybe we're
the after party act. Neck of the woods. What is that? A wood. What is a neck of a wood?
Is it, presumably that's the bit where it narrows down.
Well, then why in our neck of the woods?
I am not a forester.
No, I know, but you know a lot of things, and I just wondered.
Do you not use the phrase?
I do use it, but it's just because since that lovely joke about not just in your neck of the woods, but woods.
Actually, your wood singular.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, what is the neck of a wood?
Someone will tell us.
Okay.
Anyway, to John and to Ellis, we look forward to see. We won't see you next week, which is when they start the show, because we inconveniently have gone on holiday.
We've gone away. Yes, we should make clear But we had decided to go away that week long before it was announced.
Yeah,
that
we haven't
you should-
taken umbrage or
It's not
anything.
like, oh, fine, you start, we're going away.
Edith and Clarice will be here talking Godzilla amongst many
We
others.
just wanted it to start with the top team before we get back to wrecking things.
Okay.
on the way back.
Enough humility.
You can never have enough humility.